This game preview is brought to you by Manscaped's Premium Ultra Soft Boxer Briefs 2.0. Complete with the all-new jewel pouch to protect your stones. Use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Manscaped, the perfect tools to protect your jewels.
We start things off this morning with the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Raiders are 2-point favorites with an over-under of 45.5 points in this game. The Titans have not looked. These are two teams that would be on our list of teams that have underperformed this season. Both teams 0-2 entering this game. Last week, the Raiders blew a 23-7 lead over the Arizona Cardinals, and the Tennessee Titans absolutely got massacred by the best team in football, in the Buffalo Bills. Let's start with the Raiders, Aaron. What do you think the key is for the Raiders to getting their first win this week?
I think it's the offensive line. And I say the offensive line because they need to get that running game going. You know how much I love Josh Jacobs, and this isn't really just about Josh Jacobs. It's just about being able to run the football, which is what I think originally I thought Josh McDaniels and this offense wanted to do. But their offensive line has struggled. You talked about the trade in the offseason of a bust of a first-round pick. And then just yesterday you saw, or was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. Just yesterday you saw them trade for an offensive lineman, which, again, from New England, Justin Herron, who has ties to McDaniels in that front office. I think they recognize that they're trying to build that offensive line and continue to get better. Josh McDaniels has not really had an efficient run game with the Raiders so far throughout the first two games. And I think that's the key, because Davante Adams is going to be Davante Adams when they throw the football. Darren Waller's dynamic. Hunter Renfrow is one of the best slot receivers in football. Derek Carr has shown he can kind of lead the ship and do what he does when put in the right situations. But if you can't run the football, you're going to struggle. And I think it's really about being in the trenches on the defensive side of the football. They're sound. They've been sound all year outside of 8 minutes in that Cardinals game. But a lot of that was led to a Raiders offense that couldn't add any more points on the scoreboard. They couldn't continue to sustain drives late in the game to put that game away. And that unfortunately cost the Raiders a win. And now you're 0-2 and you're looking at all these great teams in the AFC, like you mentioned. Something has to change. And right now for me, it's the offensive line. I think that's exactly where I'm looking at to see some improvement.
It's funny. Before we did this, I thought that the easy answer here was to get Davante Adams involved. Like, I thought that was the route it would be easy to take because he's the best, he's the best player on the field for the Raiders, especially on that offense. But we talked about during the preseason, we loved how the Raiders were running the ball in the preseason. Josh McDaniels really made it a point to get that rushing attack involved. And then the season started and it was non-existent in the Chargers game. And we said that was one of the reasons why they lost. And then it was non-existent again last week against the Arizona Cardinals. So it's funny that we did not bring up just the fact that Davante Adams last week was just not good. Like, not that Davante Adams was just not good. He was not involved. He snapped his 65-game streak of 3 receptions or more in a game. This is just something that we talk about all the time with, like, you have to put the ball in your best player's hands. Davante Adams is one of those players, but Josh Jacobs is the other player that's on that offense that's the best on that offense, and you do have to get him involved. On the Tennessee Titans side of things, they've been bad. They've been very bad. Let's talk some positives about Tennessee Titans. There isn't any. But we can try and discuss where the Titans need to go to improve and to fix things. So, Aaron, let's play Dr. Phil here. Let's identify our problems and let's assess it and talk about how we can fix it. So what's the problem in Tennessee and how do they fix it?
Well, there's a few problems. Number one is their offense is predicated on Derrick Henry. So if Derrick Henry is not efficient, if Derrick Henry is not running the football the way he should be running the football, then it creates more problems because you have to put the ball in Ryan Tannehill's hands more, and you're asking him to do different things. It's not play action. It's drop back, 5-step drops, and just read a defense. And unfortunately, Ryan Tannehill hasn't been very good at that. He's turning the football over, which I'm sorry, Tennessee Titans, their offense can't afford turnovers. They have to be efficient on offense, handing the ball off, getting chunk plays in the running game, and then forcing linebackers and safeties to creep towards the line of scrimmage to stop Derrick Henry, which creates those big play opportunities on the outside. And when you don't have an AJ Brown and you can't just say, you know what, I have a guy that's bigger, more physical, and more experienced than you, I'm going to throw it up to him to go make a play. When you don't have that, you don't have any bailouts. Treylon Burks is not ready for that yet. Robert Woods is more of this slot in between, work the middle of the field kind of guy. You got Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. You got guys that we've never heard of on the outside. Kyle Phillips is a rookie. Cody Hollister. Those are the only – listen, Tennessee has 5 wide receivers on their roster. 5. Their best wide receiver, you could argue, is Robert Woods as a veteran. Like, I'm sorry, that's not going to get it done. He's coming off an ACL injury. They don't have the weapons on the outside. And unfortunately, you need that running game to be efficient, to create mismatches on the defense, to get those guys sucked up on Derrick Henry and worried about him going for 200 so you can hit him over the top on play action. And right now they don't have it. They're forcing Tannehill to drop back and just beat him with his arm. And we all know Tannehill can't do that.
Nope. And I don't think it happens on Sunday. I think the Titans go to 0-3. I think the Raiders get their first win. Give me the Raiders here, 28-17 Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders as well. I don't think they're going to be able to score as much. I do think Tennessee's Titans defense is good, but I do think Davante Adams gets back on track. I'm going to take the Raiders 24, Titans 16.
AJ has the Raiders here as well, 27-23.
And Dylan has the Raiders as well.
With no score, that lazy.
With no score, Jabroni.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.